Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, Functional Medicine Centers. Welcome. Hope you're having a great day today and everything's getting off to a wonderful start. So I'm going to talk today about things you can do right now, today, to get your immune system functioning as well as possible. Whether you're thinking about doing the vaccine or not, even if you are, they're saying now that you're not going to be able to get the vaccine to the general public all the way until the summer. So even if you're thinking about doing that, you're still going to need to push through, get your body as healthy and strong as possible for the rest of this season. So welcome. If you guys are jumping on, and especially if I've seen you in the past or haven't even seen you yet, go ahead and pop down below where you're watching from. We love to see people all the way from Texas to North Dakota, from Maryland to California, everything in between, and around the world too. So love having you guys on board. And let's get into this. So the Surgeon General that Joe Biden has picked to be his Surgeon General, hey Chris, good to see you in Prescott. For when he comes into office, he just came out this weekend and said that odds are for the general public, hey Jerry down there in Clinton, Arkansas, for the general public, they will not be able to get the vaccine for COVID until the summer. And Hector, good to see you in Phoenix there. So what does that mean? Well, you guys better take care of your body as strong as possible. I know some of you are thinking about getting the vaccine. I know some of you are adamant that you're not, but regardless, these are things that you can do today to get your immune system working as strong as possible. Hey, Victoria, good to see you there in New Mexico. And we got Abby down in Highlands Ranch. Good to see everybody out there, even close to us in Loveland. Okay, so let's jump into this. We know that this is a virus. We know that this virus can get into the body. It can attack cells, get into the cells and start replicating, creating this inflammatory process. So how do we get our bodies as prepared as possible for this? Because odds are you're going to get exposed to this. You're going to get exposed to this virus just like every year. Almost everybody is exposed to the flu, different things. So we can mask, we can social distance, all of those things. But unfortunately, it's very challenging to prevent viruses from getting into the body or having exposure. So what do we need to do? We need to be as strong as possible. Hey, Trudy in Fowler, good to see you. We need to be as strong as we possibly can. So let's do these 4 things today to really get our immune system working as well as possible. The first one that we look at, we've talked about this a lot of people in the news now are even starting to talk about it, but it's vitamin D. Vitamin D has been shown in study after study after study that it can help prevent and actually even stimulate the body if they're already infected with COVID or any other type of virus, flu, anything like that. In our practice, we'll have patients, if they start feeling like they're coming down with something, hey Shelly, good to see you up there in Wyoming. If somebody's coming down with something, they're going to take 50,000 IU a day for 3 days is what we'll give our patients to jumpstart that immune response. So we know vitamin D has had an effect on viruses for years and years and years, and the research is showing this with COVID as well. So one study showed that if your blood level is under 50, you're twice as likely to get COVID as somebody else. There's a lot of other research showing that people are more likely to die, more likely to have severe illness. And that is definitely a huge part of what we're looking at is you've got to be able to get your immune system working as well as possible. And vitamin D is a crucial piece for that. So how do you know how much to take? You've got to test in your blood work. So that otherwise you're just guessing. You might need 1,000, you might need 12,000, but somewhere in between there is where you need to be. So Jennifer, you don't want the vaccine. You know what? And that's okay. Not everybody wants the vaccine. Regardless, even if you did, you probably couldn't get it. So here's the thing is you've got to do these things. You've got to get your immune system working as well as possible. So vitamin D, one of the first steps for it. Carla, good to see you as well. Number 2, and again, we've talked about this a lot. Read my book, Blood Sugar Doesn't Lie. You've got got to balance your blood sugar. Remember, every time the blood sugar spikes up, it decreases the immune response for at least 4 hours, sometimes up to 24 hours, depending on how extreme it is. So how do you know what your blood sugar is doing? And everybody give me a thumbs up if you've ever used a blood sugar monitor like I recommend. It's a crucial piece to this. Hector, we'll talk about that later this week if you have had COVID, if you still need the vaccine. So we'll talk about that later this week. Check it out. If your blood sugar is spiking up, most people don't know. We've tested thousands of people with their blood sugar and with a glucose monitor, and many people, sweet potato goes higher than white potato. And some people can eat a banana, and some people can't eat a banana, and some people, blueberries make them spike up. We've got some thumbs up out there. And yeah, it's a huge, for anybody that's done it, it's a huge eye-opener. You've got to go down this path of figuring out what that blood sugar is doing, because if that blood sugar is spiking, you're decreasing your immune system. Also, when the blood sugar drops down, you're revving up your adrenal response. Hey, Aaron out there in New York, good to see you. You're revving up your adrenal response, and that's going to decrease the immune system as well. So we've got to be able to get that blood sugar as stabilized as possible. For every patient that comes in, we like to keep them in that 85 to 110 range, and it's totally doable. And this is how we even reverse type 2 diabetes in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. We've got numbers after numbers to show you guys of people that have actually reversed their diabetes, got off insulin, got off metformin, a lot of different things. All right, number 3, let's go to remove your inflammatory foods. So certain foods are going to be more inflammatory than others. Hey, Ann, good to see you down there in Colorado as well. So inflammatory foods are going to be, think about it this way. People always say food is your medicine, but get this, food is also your poison. And that's even more important than food is your medicine, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to add some kale in, I'm going to eat some Brussels sprouts. Like on my lunch today, I've got sardines, so you're going to add in some sardines. And so yes, food can be medicine, but more importantly with our patients, food is poison for many of them. Hey, Michelle, good to see you out there in Estes Park. Hope you're doing well. So food can also be poison, meaning that what you're eating is going to be more problematic than what you're adding in. So just by adding in some good things, that doesn't fix the problems. You've got to remove the inflammatory foods, some different things like that. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. Virginia out there in Kansas, good to see you as well. So inflammatory foods. You want to take out as many of the high omega-6 foods as you can. Omega-6 is going to be your safflower oil, your corn oil, your soybean oil, a lot of those things. And also the animals that are fed those type of fats are going to be more inflammatory. So when at all possible, wild game, grass-fed meats, things like that are going to be crucial, because otherwise they're going to drive that inflammatory process. Tammy, good to see you up there in South Dakota. So inflammatory foods, high sugar containing foods not only are going to spike up that blood sugar and decrease the immune response, but it's also going to increase the inflammation in the body. Good to see you, Carol, again as well, and Rachel there in Scotts Bluff. So we've got to be able to figure out which foods are going to be more inflammatory and which aren't. Just across the board, gluten, corn, soy, dairy are more inflammatory. Even if you have no idea and you've never done an elimination diet, you've never done a food allergy test, anything like that, just take these out: gluten, corn, soy, dairy, and start there, and that's going to get the inflammation down. Go more to wild game, grass-fed meats, things like that, and you're going to see a significant difference. And then the last one, not everybody's going to be happy with me on this, but to reduce your alcohol intake. And I'm not saying you can't ever drink alcohol, but if a lot of you out there, I know because I've seen a lot of patients that have said this, is that they have brought in quite a bit of alcohol over this course of COVID, and they're drinking more than they used to, things like that. Alcohol definitely decreases the immune response. You know, if you're having a half a glass of wine or a little bit here and there, not a big deal. But when you start having 1, 2, 3 glasses, 2 or 3 beers, those type of things are definitely going to decrease the immune system. The research shows that alcohol has that significant effect on the immune system, affects the blood sugar. Most people, they're going to be a little bit more inflamed. It puts a strain on the liver, and just really having a hard time with the body. Hey Jerry, good to see you. Where did you get the nebulizer and what kind of peroxide? So food grade peroxide, and if you look on Amazon, it's on there. If anybody has gotten a nebulizer, go ahead and post the link on there for Jerry so she knows where that one is coming from. So absolutely reduce alcohol consumption. It's not something that we need to be doing 2, 3, 4 drinks a day, a night. Usually there's underlying issues why somebody's doing that, whether that's a sleep issue, whether that's some type of anxiety, something else going on in there. So vitamin D, balance your blood sugar, remove the inflammatory foods, and reduce your alcohol. If you haven't done so already, like or follow our page. Share this with everybody that you know that's considering this. Teresa, are you recommending the vaccine? That is an individualized question. So I'm not telling people they should get the vaccine. I'm not telling people they should not. For some people that have autoimmune conditions, their rheumatologist will tell them to not get vaccinated while they're having autoimmune, or possibly even a flare in there. So that's an individualized discussion and decision, and it's based on what your body can handle at that point. Melissa, check out the other videos on there, and some other people will post on here as well. All right, guys, so happy to have everybody on board. I've got a special offer coming out tomorrow. We're going to be hitting 20,000 followers on Facebook tomorrow. So I've got a special request and a special offer to every single one of you. So jump on, and we'll make that pretty exciting. We'll kind of have a little celebration on that one. So hope everybody is great, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.